We have to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. Those who are already in the room, please take your seats. We must start. We must respect all the preparation and the time that has been set aside by our brilliant speakers of the plenary. So we request everyone to please take your seats. We'll get heaps of opportunity to speak, share photos, take photos, and network throughout the next 2 days. For the time being, let's please start. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for remaining with us, those who are present here in this brilliant venue, and of course, those joining us across the various social media platforms from the live streams. We are very excited to announce the start of our first plenary session, an extraordinary dialogue focused on advancing peace and ending war. As we come together today, let's be reminded that the pursuit of peace and eradication of war are amongst humanity's greatest aspirations. In this session, we'll be privileged to hear from some of the most distinguished advocates of peace, including Nobel Peace Laureates, respected peace leaders. Together, we aim to prove and explore innovative ways to tackle the pressing global concerns, fostering a new civilization that values dialogue, empathy, and mutual understanding. In doing so, it is my utmost honor to introduce the moderator for this session, Mr. James Chow, a distinguished WHO Goodwill Ambassador, World Health Organization, President of the China-United States Exchange Foundation, and a renowned television news anchor. James brings with him a wealth of knowledge and expertise, and his profound understanding of global issues and his reputation for insightful conversations with world leaders makes him the perfect guide throughout this session. We'd also like to announce the esteemed panel of speakers. You of course have Professor Mohammad Yunus, the Nobel Peace Laureate and Chairman of Yunus Center. We also have the pleasure of having Ms. Marina Mahathir, writer and human rights activist. We'll also have a recorded message from Lima Kobbi, the 2011 Nobel Peace Laureate. We've got another very special speaker joining us online, Father Enzo Fortunato, the director and spokesperson for communications from the Holy Covenant of Papal, who will be joining us online. To help Father Enzo, we've got our own colleague and friend Enzo Curcio, Food Coalition Coordinator from the Food and Organization of the United Nations, FAO, to be doing the translation. Just kindly reminding the moderator and all the speakers that our FEND, the timer and bell comes into play from this session. This is only not to create a sense of urgency with anything else, but to give everyone the time to speak. Let's all look forward to this engaging dialogue. Over to you, James, and can I request all the speakers to come to stage? James and all the speakers, can we have a huge round of applause for them?
Thank you for this lovely introduction and for welcoming all of us to Langkawi, an island I've been to. This is only my third time, but it's my first time with Professor Yunus and with the family, as you so beautifully described us. Well, as your family, Professor Yunus, we would like to link between what we heard this morning. I think we can all agree that there's so much still to absorb and reflect on from the different speeches, comments, insights, ideas, which hopefully is going to trigger the nation. And as I was coming in, I saw what you said a number of years ago on the banner, which says, have the imagination, then you can't make better things happen. You can't improve the human condition. You can't realize the 3 0 and on and on and on. So with all these linkages between your teachings, Professor Yunus, because we are here as your students, but also here as an interactive discussion, I want to look more at what we're here to discuss in this first panel, which is ending war and advancing peace. And on this stage, we have 4 peace leaders who, in their own ways, are working through food, through faith, through community, through religion, through global health. Marina and I, that's how we met in the first place. And how are we going to improve humanity so that the opportunities ahead of us are really within reach and really are attainable? So, Professor Yunus, there was so much to think about before your keynote and then your keynote, but I also want to come a little bit to the thought essay that you penned not so long ago, where you said very specifically that we have maybe 50 years, at most 100 years, to take meaningful action before we slide into what Professor Yunus calls a red zone. And once you hit that red zone, any action from that point onwards is going to be meaningless. It's going to be futile. Do you think we have even 50 years to take the action? And if we could take 3, borrowing on your 3 zeros, what would the 3 steps be now to prevent us from sliding into that color zone?
Well, yeah.
That's the red zone.
Hello, hello. Is it working? Okay. No, you raised a very fundamental question. So what I was trying to do about kind of giving a timeline where we can how much time we have. Usual way, I say that finishing line is visible. We are very close. We don't have much time left. Then I try to elaborate it by saying that it's not working. Okay. Usually the way I try to say that is I said we can count it in terms of decade, not in terms of centuries that we did before. So we don't have left to take the action. Because the moment it takes time, it's like a ship. You want to turn, you want to moving forward, you want to kind of time before we can see the fruits coming. This is giving you a date. Have, our finishing line is visible. We have no future for us. So whatever we have to do, we do it now. My emphasis at the work help us at all. And as everything else, it is not just one. Then how time consuming generation is one. How things were wrong and everything else. Very as you're saying, is prepared so that the generation can have jobs. So job is the key to the existing financial system. I said, job is absolutely wrong path. Job is human beings are all about. So I made all the statements, and there came the idea of social business. That is the whole concept of. So this is creating a make it happen. So this is beyond realization. Is have we can repair, improve it, and make it work? It will not work. It will not save us at all. So we have to go the fundamental. But that the is everybody has to go and we are everything. That's not the circular now livelihood, your that, that's the kind of everything. That's why I would show so on.
Back to we spoke for reinventing. I think this the new system you've all seen the use of witnessing extreme weather events right around the world today. I and one thing that I talk one ideas not only active in health is someone who's in a global movement was as well.
And you invite and about advancing peace and just tell you a bit how is that right? Work quality because of that we work quality and a lot of it has to do with forming countries, but also male. So in women not even house or they um, lead a complicated situation, perfect family where you have both and everyone has the same in mind. Fathers sometimes disappear in jail or something, and so the wives, the mothers, and the children are stuck because they don't have by law many things. As the agency, what and many other that more so I think that it's very hard to be peaceful. So peaceful environment, the family, society. I think
We're together in one. So I think we'll come forward to that to Europe. That Father Enzo Forti has AM and much for your time today. The Franciscan, the former spokesman of the convent, and the papal of Father Enzo. Welcome to our gathering, and everyone here in Langkawi, Malaysia, is delighted that you can be with us. You are one of the key figures in a world meeting on the human document of fraternity. This was a major meeting that took place in June, a month ago. This is one of the signatories to this important. He said, because you could start them and to Professor on stage to help with the entire.
Morning. Good
Other, I can hear you loud and clear.
Me?
Yes. Yes. Sì, ti
So, I usually to greet the people in when I meet the
What is doing? Not hear you. Non ti ascoltiamo. Sei muto.
adesso.
Yes.
Ecco, ora
Ah, ok. Tutti che spengo il telefono qui non si sente bene.
sorry, in Italy, I think are 4 a.m. or something like that.
Ok, adesso si sente bene, sì?
Yes, non ti vediamo, quindi no, puoi andare anche senza così.
Can we get the picture back?
Eh, ma-
And there's some
Oh, sì. Enzo, mi senti?
sento benissimo.
Tradotto che chiede di organizzare anche dell'evento di giugno San Pietro e, e, e firmato
yes.
e
Ok, sì.
vai.
Intanto i premi Nobel è stato l'opinione pubblica
First
e
of all,
era
first of all, the fact that the Peace Prize signed and this document to Pope Francis and DC, it was another in public opinion. All was easy to make immediate
sia solo.
Most crisis together. Cannot staying together.
L'altro aspetto è che le cose non devono finire. Dobbiamo accanto a Papa Francesco, perché ci accorgiamo come oggi è davvero l'unico leader di pace, guardi di
Please don't stop your voice. We never should, our voices never should be stopped. Also from Pope Francis, this our, but it's also the leader currently. Encourage us to don't stop our. This is the second topic of the document.
Poi abbiamo visto tutti la forza dirompente di oltre 30 Nobel insieme, scritta nella storia dei Nobel.
Yes, and it was really historic because for the 30 Peace Laureates were together to structure a new message together to the all nations.
Il prossimo meeting ha scelto intanto un mese essere cause principali della mancanza di pace, cioè l'ingiustizia sociale. E l'Africa forse il continente che più interroga ogni.
And Professor Yunus, let me announce the topic meeting that the Vatican will convene at, next year, but in September, and you should come, per se. And the topic is social injustice, and with a special focus on African continent.
Joseph, poi possiamo passare alla seconda.
Okay, if you have the other question to.
Father Enzo, thank you very much. We'll come back to you. You've stressed the importance of solidarity, of how we're here today after this debate. People think and there are Tokyo Games. That on the basis of the message that Father ends his solidarity. Message was Bach today was talking about dash together. Father him early in the morning. So these messages from faith leaders, from activists, anti-poverty, fourth year day, President Foundation Africa. already know her, the Nobel Peace Prize, and 14 years of civil war in Liberia. Did that Muslim Christian in spearheading movement that actually helped end the war. In doing so, they brought peace and do you have the video? Thank you.
Having Nobel Peace. I really apologize that I'm there to engage. I really was looking forward to engaging at the social business. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But I'm forward to talk about describe it as building. 14 years into the period, I wanted to change the dynamic. The narrative of guns, men with guns, drug emboldened soldiers, and all of the stories about women was about 65% plus women that were raped and abused during the war. We wanted to do something different for the lives of our children, the future of our children. All we had was thanking God to be alive in the morning or to be alive at night. So we wanted something different. We came together, Christian women, including the Women of Liberia Mass Action for Peace. The campaign had three ultimate goals: unconditional ceasefire, dialogue between the warring parties, and the deployment of an international peacekeeping force. The reason those were the three things because we knew that those were the things that the president at the time, Taylor, was. But beyond that, if we had to come to peace, those were the three things that needed to be. There had to be immediate fire. There had to be a dialogue between the parties, and the international community needed to send troops in. Initially, when we started, everyone said we were crazy. As a matter of fact, they referred to us as women who had taken the madness pill. But we couldn't our protest until the government and the war groups decided that they were going to the peace. We went to the peace talk and looked them. It was important for us women to go to the peace talk because in those moments, like in that moment, Liberia had already signed over 40 different peace agreements. We didn't want this one to go another way because the international community had it up to here with us as a nation. So a delegation, a group of us women, came to Ghana and decided that we were going to protest all through the peace talk. It got rough because we ran out of funding. Technically, funders do not give money to a group of protesting women. We didn't have place to stay. Some of the women came and left their children back, and the war had broken up. So it was really, really difficult for us. But eventually, we were able to ride the storm and were able to get peace for Liberia. Today, when everyone is talking about the signing of the peace agreement 20 years ago, August 8, 20 years, the credit women like say that it was an easy journey. There were many challenges. A main challenge was our funding gap. Second challenge was trying to build a movement with two different groups, religious groups. The beauty of our work was that we understood that beyond how beyond our status, beyond our political, we had one thing in common, and that was our humanity women. The question we consistently ask each other: does the bullet know a Christian from a Muslim? At the end of the war, we decided that we're going to agreement, which is something that most people do not do. They demystify everything and said bench. The reason we wanted to do it was because that real for 200 pages of peace and peace building. We took the document, 80 women in a room, and took it apart, set benchmarks, and sent it out into all the different communities. If you don't see this happening, you have to. If you don't see this happening, you have to remain implementation of this agreement. When the time came for education, we stepped and did the work that we had to do. When elections came, we had already registered 50 plus one more women than men. At the end of the day, we got President Ellen Johnson as Africa's first female president elected. Was it a coincidence or did we plan it? No. But one of the lessons we learned is that when women are engaged in a nation building process, there's it that they are leftists. We always see and hear, oh, women should not be involved in that. Liberia was no exception. We gained our independence in 1847. It wasn't until the 1950s that women property owners were allowed to vote. So from 1950 up until the women always saw politics and anything around politics, the people's thing, many male thing, they needed not to be involved. Our movement for peace started, we started with this week for that way we were trying to galvanize grassroots women to say that it's important for to be part of the nation. What are some of the lessons? Peace will never come on the flower bed of ease, as my mother would say. Peace, like war, is a difficult process, especially non-violent peace building. We need to be involved. It has to be a hands-on process. There cannot be peace in any nation without the involvement. Trying to build peace with all women, trying to build a nation with import of women, the strategy of one icon is impossible to do. So I think it's not just in peace building process, but I think peace building process, because I believe that peace is not just the war, but the presence of conditions that define all. After the end of Liberia, in age, and that is the other lesson that we learn. Most times, women will join the peace process and be with the mindset that once the guns are silent, I'll move on. In most communities, once the women take their hand off that process, the process goes violent. Learning is to remain engaged every step of the way in the implementation of the peace building process. If you look at our world today, we're really at a need all hands, calling everyone. Abuses, talking actions, taking over what it means for our humanity and for the future of our children. So democracy is lost. We see in our countries across the world that tyrants are now taking over. What can we do? How can we do this? There's no way we can rely on one gender in the world. I believe, like the women of Liberia, like women in other parts of the world are working, it is important for each and every one of us to get processes that our countries and the world is confronted with. I think it's important for women's voices to be in all of the discourse. It's important for women's intelligence to be sorted after, for women to be in the political processes in their country, and for them to be seen as leaders. Today, I believe there's no way we can have a great world, a better world, a peaceful world without women. Thank you.
Very much to Lima Gaboe. And as Lima indicated over there, she had fully planned to be here in Lanka, that in the absence of that, she could share the essence of her current time, reflecting on the great struggle that she co to lead as their first president, first woman president. You know, Marie, I was very taken by how much you were and when you speak. Yours, Asia, thousands of miles away from Africa, but obviously spread isn't it? What would be your reactions on what she said to take your message because of that?
Mrs. Gabowi, everything she said was just resonating with me, 100% of the time. She's a real hero. It just shows further back than some of us here, actually. And I think she's right. Absence of war, just having no guns or things like that. There are what I would call microaggressions happening all the time. Violence is a constant for women. Here in Malaysia, we just passed an anti-stalking law a few months back, which was really important to make women feel safe outside the home. Also need, as I said, to feel safe within the home. So there is a lot of move to violence and really have uh, a lot of the issues we often do not have that men. Why that is because, as Ms. Bowie said, that if you really improve the lot of women, and you can only do that by having their voices, by having their involved in every for and everybody gains. Zero sum game. If we would something, then we do society and peace, society and every again I bring it down this unit of society, which is the family. If you don't have that peace within the family where you respect every member of the family, whether it's husband and wife, it translates into the larger society, and we can see that how that is played out everywhere.
How do you get the family all on the same page? How do you get all men family different pressures responsibilities and
It's not building in the family. It's not easy. But I to respect another. It's a religion. You have to learn to respect the other. It's a part of you, and I think it has to start there. It's not an easy project. People who have power are not keen to let go of it ever. But we can are in power because they want to make society better, then they have to understand that that power is shared with all members of society and not just hold on just for the sake.
Professor Yunus, may I come talk about I one phases and open up opportunities about the artificial intelligence. I think Madam referenced as the unleash and at back the parts of AI. You say that AI is as to draw technology using it responsibly.
Uh, with the uh, 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 world, and that should encourage you to do it more because you're in it and you want to continue with it. You don't wait for solidarity to happen and then take the next step. That's how my would be designed. Design is a very important thing, and ignore and, you're raising or the proposing long-term goals that you're setting and work on it until you have made convinced people to join you, have initial condition of your support. So that's what I'll emphasize, that going define traditional is very important, that you have to take the step. Put that as a alone long-term journey here and make the little step is not something that you should be worrying about. We have been promoting this in terms of zero clubs, for example. But we did in your life, you have defined waste don't other side, but you take the step and it can from 0%. So then so you don't wait for all when you alone can do that in work. And the technology service and technology that's what the technology is all about. Technology which not have been done before because of the tool you have. As long as it's a tool, I feel safe. I have no problem with that. The moment technology becomes a master, I have a problem. And artificial is emerging as a possible master. People say, no, they won't be master. It'll be your servant. It will be a tool. I don't believe that. I don't believe it because we are dealing with a greed-based economy. Greed-based economy doesn't see left and right, only see himself or herself that achieve things for them. So this greed-based economy will not recognize the red line where it becomes master. And by their own mistake in search of their intoxication with money, will make one tiny mistake and the whole world will be suffering for that and entire human population will suffer for that. So I said, before you get into that, I understand very clearly what it is and draw a line. I'm not saying all AI should be banished, no research, no actions, and AI should be undertaken. I'm not saying that. I said AI can be a positive force for people, but it could be a dangerous thing for entire planet and the whole human population. So why don't we draw a line now, very strict line, that we do not cross this red. The moment you cross the red line, you cannot get back again. That's the problem. So nobody is paying attention to that part of it. Talk about it, some rules, procedures, and so on. It has to be a global consensus that this is what AI is allowed when you can do this kind of thing. But the moment you get into it, you have no way you can protect ourselves. So there must be a global concept. Somebody is out of fun or out of money-making thing somewhere in the world did something and destroyed the whole world. That should not be allowed. So that's what their total global consensus and global monitoring of it, so that it crossed that line. So technology can be a blessing for human. Is a blessing human being all the time. Now it's a chance it could be a huge curse for human being. So we how to save ourselves from the curse part of technology, remain in the blessing part of technology. That's a challenge that we have to face right now. Thank you.
I'm worried about whether we already crossed that line. Professor Yunus, I know that we're at time, but I know that as the person that you are, you'd want us to give a laugh. Father Enzo, who has joined us live from Europe. Father Enzo, are you still online?
Yes.
Father Enzo, just one message because we're out of time here.
Puoi darci giusto un messaggio?
The question, this session, this opening social is called Ending Once in Peace. What one brief message will you leave us with?
Fare avanzare la pace e stop la guerra. Quale messaggio puoi darci a fine sessione?
Io vorrei ricordare le parole di Papa Francesco. Con la guerra siamo tutti sconfitti.
I would like to quote Pope Francis, with war, all of us will be defeated.
Non c'è dolore o un vinto, quanto una disfatta collettiva.
There is no winners. There will be only a collective defeat.
Polarizzando, ponendo, parando.
We are living only with the opposite poles, only the opposition, only with but Pope Francis
bisogna di fare in modo di avere un fine ed essere mediatori nei conflitti, non lavorare, parizzare, ma lavorare per pace. Questa è la politica di Papa Francesco.
But Pope Francis wish strongly to finish this opposition, culture opposition, and to work to defeat opposition with a permanent mediation on peace. We should become a peace mediator permanently.
Il discorso del Papa, la sua azione, che noi come francescani insomma, guardiamo con attenzione perché porta il nome del nostro fondatore San Francesco, è quella di non vivere e far vivere tenendo presente che c'è l'amico o il nemico. Da che parte stai, da che parte stai, ma nel rifiutare la logica appunto della contrapposizione e immettere la logica della condivisione.
So we want to revert the logic of opposition with the logic of common good. This is the key. And this is the key also for Franciscan order. Enzo. Farenzo.
We thank Father Ed here today and for sharing that message.
Volevo anche sul finale? Volevi annunciare?
Nostre le parole di San Francesco. Fa di me, fa di te uno strumento della pace.
Please.
E poi Papa Francesco perché ci ho preso ad ora. E se tu mi vuoi dire un pensiero che gli porti i tuoi saluti.
Professor Yunus, I would like to announce I was in Oxford until yesterday night. If the Pope Francis wants to meet me today, so and I would like to convey to Pope Francis the message I can deliver to Pope Francis today.
Just for concept of this is not a tenable economic framework. So the economy in a different recognized idea of social business and through fits into this one, but definitely problem solving and being creative, and we that total disaster for the human being. It's a design of a new designing of because so we have to go to the you can and maybe up we can discuss.
Okay, I think that kindly convey that Father Enzo by WhatsApp. Father Enzo, of course, to host Professor Muhammad Yunus for bringing us together on this stage, and also to Marina Mahathir for coloring so much of our imagination on the moral stewardship that will have to go towards achieving trust and peace. Thank you very much.
If we could please ask the speakers to come to the front of the stage for a photo opportunity. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for this brilliant plenary session.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am now very excited to introduce our session today. A journey exploring the remarkable story of the 3-0 Club initiative and its inspiring global impact. We'll delve into an engaging conversation between Professor Muhammad Yunus and two passionate members of the 3 clubs celebrating exceptional work and exciting global growth. Leading us through this special session, please introduce our esteemed moderator, Azib M. Islam. In social business, Azib is the managing director, CEO of the 3Z Global Center, and a trustee with his rich experience supporting social businesses. His leadership at 3Z Global Center, Shazib is perfectly positioned to illuminate this exciting exploration of the 3-0 Club initiative. Additionally, as an Obama scholar and founder of multiple social business ventures, his unique insight and expertise promise to offer a truly enriching perspective on the transformative power of social entrepreneurship. Our distinguished moderator, Shazib M. Khairul Islam, will call all speakers to the stage. Over to you, Shazib.
Thank you so much. Sorry, it's good to be back at the stage of Social Business Day, but it was a lot of adjectives. But for the next 20 minutes or so, we are really going to meet some of our friends who are not building large businesses or changing the world in 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. But what they really do is they take years ago, I was invited by my friends to join a conference called Social Business Day in Dhaka. I just went there in a hotel to have good food and make some friends. For the whole day, I just wondered what I was doing at campus. But while it was about to end, Professor Yunus was on stage, and he said something which completely changed my mind. He said, our generation of young people was the most powerful generation in the history of mankind. And why? Because we had the power of technology. And we think these small actions taken by all the 3-0 Club members together one day can really become a powerful force. And I am nobody to really talk about all the actions that they take. I want you all to meet them. And we start with a small video. Can we have the video first?
Are 1,000 strong and one united force for change.
Together we build networks,
Take action
and unfold ourselves
as a powerful force to create a world of 3 zeros.
Thanks for the video. And exactly 2 years ago, during Social Business Day, I think in a similar setting, after an online plenary, we had the opportunity to launch the 3-0 Club initiative. And with, I would say, very little preparations. But what we have seen in the last 2 years is this is slowly really becoming a movement, and how it started, where we are, and what is Young really going to explore this in the next 16 minutes or so. And to do so, let me invite Professor Muhammad Yunus back on stage. And we are also going to join by Khadija Mohammed. She's a student at Al-Bukhari International University. We had numerous Zoom calls. It's the first time I see her in person. We also Amaila during and how do you hope that this movement grows in the future?
Thank you. It's just a continuum of what we have been doing, the social business and everything, and talking about creating a new civilization and defining that new civilization with 3 zeros. And I wrote the book on 3 zeros back in 2017. It's published. Ever since, people asking me, what is this 3.0 you're talking about? I said, this is a kind of a condensed version of the world that we want to create. We are the creator, the kind of society that we want to build. So we have to have an imagination of the world that we want to build. I said, imagination is what leads everything happen. Even if you see that the part is unrealistic in a kind of concrete matter, but in imagination you can create that. It's an imagination. So it's easy to imagine a world that you want to build. Once you imagine, it has a chance that it will happen. If you don't imagine, there's no chance of happening. So that's the direction. Then we started explaining what the 3.0 generations. They are the most powerful generation. They have to some task for themselves, assigned to themselves. I said, creating this 3.0 world is their assignment. That's what they should do. In order to do that, I want to bring it down to small group of 5 people. 5 young people get together, create a 3.0 club. Bring it to their task in an individual way. They decide that I will not contribute in my personal way in contributing to global warming. Whatever I'm doing, I'm always checking. I'm contributing to global warming. I'm a responsible person. I'm not responsible for everybody else is responsible. But I'm not contribute to wealth concentration and what I must do in order to say that I have no contribution to wealth concentration. How do we make sure I have no contribution to wealth unemployment? And what am I doing now which contributes to unemployment? So those are the issues raised. Then I started taking action. Finally, I'd say, okay, I have done small steps and gradually come to a point, do not contribute to any of these three major problems of the world. So I become a 3.0 person. I can now give it a concrete shape, 3.0 person. So person that young people, they started. We announced.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. And can we also really appreciate all these people who are supporting 3.0 Club members? With 84 3Z support persons, unfortunately, they are 30 into they cannot become 3.0 Club. Really work with 3 Club. We have who are really taking actions. I would like to start with you, Khadija. You are from Tanzania. You study at Albuquerque International University, and you've been lucky to really immerse into these 2 countries' culture. And you were, I think, one of the students from AIU who had been part of the 3.0 Club, right? It's been close to 2 years. So if you could just tell us what 3.0 Club means to you, what kind of small actions you take, and was there one incident or something that really had inspired you? Yep.
Right, thank you so much, Shazim, and really honored to be. And I'm so grateful. Seeing Shazib online for years, so this is my first time to have a face-to-face session with him. And I would just like to rephrase one thing that you just said. Yes, I come from Tanzania. And I'm in Malaysia. I'm too vibrant culture. But as a student from Hari International University, I can say that I come from a place to be, from inspiring minds with 100 vibrant culture. And because where I study, we have different people. We come together to learn, to study, to laugh, to cry. That's how the journey has been. And on the perspective of the 3-0 Club, this initiative, I could describe it to be my identity. This is because it has opened new doors of opportunity for me. When we first formed the group, together with my colleagues, we are 5 from Bangladesh, Tanzania, and also Indonesia. We were just 5 students from first year, not knowing where are we heading to. Yeah. And we were the first group. So you can imagine all those people who are looking upon you, or what are you guys gonna do, and where are you going to? But looking on the concept of 3-0 Club itself, it was just a call to action for us, because we came together as a group of different students to come up with the solution for the most on the pressing issues that we are facing right now. Class duration for this, we have been made small big stage at that time. But proudly enough, in my university now we have 20. We took the we stayed there. The way Prof. Yunus always say, you need to imagine first it will happen. Because if you don't imagine it and keep yourself in that situation, what am I doing, or what is the impact that I'm looking forward to, you're never gonna find a solution to anything. So we came for 5 members. We started coming up with workshops that could give skills to the students who are in our university, in order for them, once they leave the university, they'll be able to get maybe a job opportunity. Because it's really scary to be able to finish, let's say, your 4 years of degree and going outside without not knowing what to do. But our university made sure that problems, to know the problems and come in there. So I can say it is what truly inspired me, the concept of what is the 3-0 Club? What does it young and able wrong. So when we and
You say today's young generation is really, but everybody who's inside, everyone is 18 with age and to heart. That's why they are in love with social business, and that's why they support 3-0 clubs. And up next, I would like to come to you, Shamoila. Tell us if there was an incident or experience that really inspired you. You are trying to create a more inclusive society with your 3-0 club, with your members, and about your initiative that you are running. And when I started to speak to her, I think just earlier this month about this session, we were exchanging many different pictures of the actions that Shamoila and her friends were taking from the 3-0 club, really going to slum Dhaka and taking small action to support one person, right? So tell us about it.
Thank you, Shajib, for giving me this opportunity to talk about Project Barnali. Yep. Barnali is the Bengali translation of spectrum. So our team, we try to create autism awareness, since spectrum is very much used in the world of autism. That's why we chose the word Barnali. And this project is it is sort of like my passion project. So it's truly an honor to be speaking about this with Professor Yunus and all the brilliant minds that's present here today. So if I had to share an experience about what our club did to create awareness, I of context. Project Bornally is to create empathy along with awareness about autism and other physical disabilities. Because growing up, I personally experienced a great lack of empathy in our society for people who are just a little different. Growing about what the society, I would simply just, people have not been to him. People have not accepted that he is different, and he had a tough life growing up. So that's why the focus of our Project Bornally is to create empathy. So last month, our team, we went to different slums of Dhaka city, tried to locate impoverished family with autism or other physical, listen to their stories, give them financial aid, and put the disability allowance from the government, because a lot of times there's a broker who this money gets and do not go to their hands. So we had an initiative to go and track these families and ensure that they fill out their paperwork by our team. We ourselves fill out their paperwork. And we asked them, like, what's your, like, how do people treat them? And Ratul's mother, actually the most heartbreaking stories we've ever heard. Children of Ratul's age, Ratul's own hand experience the struggles of these poor families who have a member who has autism or any other physical disabilities. And even though they worked in the scorching heat, like, they came home and they texted me that I had one of the most beautiful experiences today. I was never aware that these people struggle so much. So this act of engaging the youth in, like, volunteering, like engaging them to volunteer for our projects, this is awareness itself. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create, and So one of the, I'm like really long time now, but I'm just gonna end my speech and I'm gonna say something that when I told these volunteers I gave them a special instructions. I told them, go to those kids, ask them, talk to them, smile at them, listen to them. And so when they did, like, I wish I could show you some pictures today. Like these children, they were so happy that someone finally went up to talk to them. Because I know, I have a brother, and I know that when someone lacks social communication skills, we sort of actually end up lacking social communication skills. Like, we never walk up to them. We never greet them, like, ask you, how was your day? Because we think that, oh, person cannot speak. Should we go bother and speak to them? They're very lonely. They do not get the attention that we receive. Like, sometimes I would actively ask my friends when they come over to my house that go talk to my brother, greet him, and he gets so happy. So I would request all of the audience here today that if you ever come across someone with autism or any other physical disability, go up to them. Go up to them, ask them how they are, smile at them. And trust me, it will mean the whole world to them. They're going to be incredibly happy for the little amount of attention that you're giving to them. And create awareness about autism. Teach your children that they need to be kinder to people like that. Teach them that there's no cure for it. You just need to love them. You need to accept them. You need to embrace them. We have a booth of Project Bornally. We're selling some of the paintings by autistic children. All this money will go towards the most impoverished family in Dhaka's slums, those who have children with autism. There's some paintings. There's a painting by my brother itself, one of which I'm planning to gift Professor Yunus today. So, I would request all of you to visit our booth. You can know more about our project. You can go to our page and share our videos and look at the things that we've done. And thank you again for letting me speak.
Thank you for coming to Langkawi, for joining us, and also inspiring your friends to create a 3-0 club with you, and for taking those small actions. It really matters, you know, and also for inspiring all of us and, you know, helping us understand how to do it better. And Khadija, many exchanges also with Professor Yunus, but online. He's here. Do you give him a question? Very short, yeah.
All right. Okay. So my question will be, there's always challenges when, you know, we try to find a meaningful way on creating a positive impact. Because what we do is we either make the impact, we either sell the impact, or we either buy the impact. So how do we try to, or how can you tell us what are the innovative ways that we can use to be able to improve that?
Well, the whole idea of 3-0 Club is to make you feel that you are good enough to do something.
Yes.
You're not just a kid growing up, wait something and wait for the exam result, move to the next class, and finally you'll get some degree or something and get a job. That's not what the path is. You're already a mature human being. Even better. Your thoughts, your actions are much better than the generation before, this stage of your life. So how do you translate that? You are somebody who can contribute, you can do things, and it will teach you how to make things and find a solution for you in your own way. So independently thinking and getting into action, that's the whole thing. That's why all actions are very important from our perspective. Very happy that you got into it. And what we do, we try to link you up with other clubs. So it's not alone. We could have done better. So why don't we do something like that? That's the whole thing. What's just you with everybody else? You said about 1,300 clubs already? So you have 1,300 clubs already. You have all this access. You can talk to each other no matter which side of the world he or she is. You can reach out to the person, what they are doing, and so on. So that's very important. While I have the microphone, I would like to mention that Nepal, in the number of 3-0 clubs. So let's give a big applause. That's fantastic. And they have some very successful 3-0 club support person would you please introduce the support person in Nepal, in India? They are here. Bishwajit is here, and others are
Yeah,
here.
of course.
Kamal?
I think from Nepal, we have our friends. Mr. Shankar Mansresta is here. We have Jivan Vikas. Yeah, do we have friends from there? Yeah, can we? Yeah, thank you. And most of the cases we exchange on WhatsApp in the mountains, wherever villages, people are doing small actions, planting trees or blood donation campaign, those kind of stuff. Yeah, and
from India, Bishwajit.
Dada, are you here? Yeah, you are here.
Yeah, he is here. Let's give a big applause
Yeah.
for Bishwajit. Fantastic work done. And others.
We have
and,
Suresh and his
and
friends.
Suresh, say, please, Suresh,
Yeah.
will you please stand up? Wow,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
right there. Big applause for Suresh. They play a very major role. They go to young people, discuss things that we're talking about, inspire them to create 3-0 clubs, get connected with our 3-0 clubs. In Bangladesh, we have Kamal.
Yeah.
And who else? Yeah,
Kamal
Kamal.
Bhai, where are you?
I
Yeah,
don't
at the
see-
back, yeah.
Okay, give big applause for Kamal. So each one, they have created some 10 social 3-0 clubs, some 15 3-0 clubs. What's the maximum?
Maximum is in Nepal.
In, how many per person? Anyway, what the
Anyway,
largest number? 20, 30 clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
They
No,
initiate.
just
They
Kamal Bhai
devote,
has helped get
they
50
devote
plus.
a lot of their time among these people.
Yeah.
And connecting them with each other. These are all voluntary work. And they take it upon themselves wherever they go, explain what this is all about it, and building up the new generation. That's the whole idea. Build up the new generation. After all, world them. This is their future that we are talking about.
Yeah.
Older generation, their future is blocked anyway. It's gone, finished. It's the younger generation who has to make sure this planet exists by the time they grow up. They have to build a place, enjoyable place for them, full place for them. That's what the support person, 3-0 Club support person are doing. We want to thank you for playing this role. It inspires everybody around the world. Thank you.
Yeah, Professor Yunus, yep. Please, huge round of applause for them. So the highest number is 201 clubs supported by one person. So this is a surprise because we announced it 2 days later at the 3-0 Club convention because we have the 3-0 Club awards. But this person is from India. Yeah, it's a secret now, yeah. All right, so I really want to thank all of you for joining us here and for talking about the clubs. We have representatives of 12 3-0 clubs here. Wherever you are, please talk to our friends, ask for help if you need any kinds of support. We also have a 3-0 club booth. We have the if you need more information, you can always find me, my colleagues, and anyone who's really involved. And we should continue this conversation and to see what we really report back in the next social business day. So Professor Yunus, so much for joining.
Shazib represents the 3-0 Club.
Yep.
So he's the key to all connecting people, clubs all around the world. So go to him or there's a website and he will help you to do whatever you want to do. It's your decision, it's your work. But if you wanted some information, some connections with another global social business, 3-0 clubs, he will be the right person. His global center will help you achieve those objectives that you have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Could we have a huge round of applause and wish the 3-0 Club movement all the best? If we can have all the speakers on
Can we take
stage
a picture?
for a photo opportunity. Thank you very much. Once again, a huge round of applause for a round break of day one you to indulge flavors of our curated menu, but more importantly, seize this opportunity as for lunch where you've just had this morning's networking breakfast, the tea break. You delegation AI delegation to the restaurant. For everyone else, please feel free to make your way into the networking session. I must say the session following lunch is very, very exciting and important, which is glimpses of social business enabling collaborative ecosystem. We request everyone to please return to this main ballroom by 2 p.m. We'll want to make sure that our next speakers have enough time. Hope you enjoy your lunch and see you back at 2 p.m. Thank you very much.